Imagine you have a bowl of clam chowder. Where are you? For me, I see myself sitting at the dinner table, sipping my soup while cold weather blows around outdoors. But today it's anything but cold. I think it's like 90 degrees out, so it's definitely not the normal vibe for clam chowder. But what if we change a few things? Tonight on Caleb Beats, we're going to be making a coconut clam chowder. We're going to be borrowing some different ingredients from Southeast Asian cuisine, and we're going to combine that with this classic New England dish to hopefully make something a little lighter, a little brighter, and hopefully just make a really delicious dish. Today's recipe is coming from The Cook You Want to Be by Andy Varangandi. We're going to start with preparation. We're going to start with an onion. I'm going to cut the onion like that. Then we'll do our nice little thin strips, like so. All right, that's our onion. Put that in the bowl. Now this is lemongrass. If you've never seen it before, this is what it looks like. Believe it or not, it is a grass. If you want to play Harry Potter, it feels like a wand. You can use it for tea, you can use it for medicinal purposes, apparently. It also is a natural source of citronella. And so, if you're looking for something to plant in your garden, this could be a great option because it will help keep those pesky mosquitoes away. But for today, we want to chop it up. I'm gonna try this. I'm gonna cut it down the middle. This is just gonna make it easier because if this thing is rolling around like that, roly-poly, it's gonna be really hard to cut. If we cut it in half, then we have a nice flat surface. And we can go, wee! Ooh, I already said a wee. We're barely in. We're not even in. We're barely 6 minutes into this thing. I already said wee. You know what I just realized? I put the pan on the stove, but I didn't turn it on. Oh my goodness gracious. We're gonna turn that on. Yeah, we're gonna go with a medium-high heat, I think. Wee. Last one. Perfect. That's a lot of lemongrass. And we need 2 tablespoons, excuse me while I vanish, of ginger. We love ginger. However, it can be somewhat hard to use just because, a lot of recipes call for peeling it, and it's very fibrous. So this is how you can make ginger really easy to deal with. Very simple. You freeze it. This was in my freezer. You probably just saw me pull it out of the freezer. And then instead of chopping it up, I'm going to use a box grater. It's probably very noisy. I apologize. Ginger flying everywhere. All right. I think that's about 2 tablespoons. We'll see. We'll see. Pull all the good, tasty ginger out of that. Put a little olive oil in here. Just go. Whee! Putting this in. Oh, we hear the sound. The sound of success. 6 to 8 minutes, give or take. What we need to do is we need to slice these into 1/2 inch pieces. Looks about like that. I'm doing somewhat 1/2 inch slices. There's that. Whee! It's starting to soften, it's starting to look really good. So we're going to add our potatoes. Here, I'll show you. Here we go. There's the tumbling. Whee! 2 teaspoons of coriander. 2 teaspoons. Perfect. Alright. So we are going to be adding some chicken broth. And we're also going to be adding some coconut milk. 2 cans of coconut milk and 2 cups of chicken broth. Pour that in. Going in. We're just going to let this simmer for the next, 25 minutes, give or take. While that cooks down, we are going to be making a chili oil. So we're going to have our lovely serranos here. And then we also have some garlic. These are about 6 cloves of garlic. We're just going to finely slice these real quick. And then we'll put them in some oil. We'll slice the chilies, put the chilies in the oil with this all. Perfect. We're going to slice these. And then we're going to cook these, kind of fry them, kind of cook them, in about a 1/4 cup of oil. You're using the oil to not only release the flavors of the ingredients, but you're also using that oil to then find those natural flavor oils that are released. This calls for 6 cloves of garlic. I think I have 7, but one of them is really tiny, so we're not going to count it. The chilies, the garlic. We're going to put this on the pan over here with, I'm going to be using a lighter olive oil for this, just because it's going to be a little bit more neutral with the flavor. 1/4 cup measurement, and pour it in. Now, we're not going to be cooking this for long. We're just going to heat this up and then cook it until the garlic starts to crisp. Let's get our bok choy ready. I actually really enjoy bok choy. One of my favorite ways to prep it is to cut it in half and then grill it. We're not doing that today. We're gonna chop it in half. I'll show you what the inside looks like. They look really pretty. Look at this. Look at that. Oh, isn't that pretty? I like that so much. We're gonna chop this coarsely. And then, this is so much bok choy. This is insane. I'm just gonna trust the process. Trust the process. Yeah. Oh, perfect. This is exactly what we want to be seeing. You see all the frying, the crispiness. Oh, that's delicious. All right, so this I'm gonna give like 30 more seconds. We got our nice whole gourmet ocean clams, and you know, it's just clams, clam juice, sea salt, rosemary, and the most interesting ingredient, chamomile extract, which apparently is to protect color. Now the question of the day, should I leave these whole? These are like, I don't know, 1/2-inch squares. I think I'm gonna leave them whole. You ready? You ready? I don't think you're ready. Wow. It's definitely cooking. It's definitely cooking. Let me stir it for you. Ooh. Look at that. Looks very creamy. All the bok choy goes in for 3 minutes. Okay, bok choy's running away. He doesn't. This is going to be a full pot. I should have picked a bigger pot. Moral of the story: clams are going in too, even though there's not really room for them. This is wild stuff. Okay. Doesn't really smell like anything. That's disappointing. I get a little bit of the lemongrass and a little bit of coconut, but that's about it. All right, we got our lime juice, we got our fish sauce. It's going in. Mixy. And now, the moment you've all been waiting for. We're gonna taste this. Get a little bit of everything. Get a clam. Get a potato. Where's the clam? There's a clam. Little bit of the oil with the chili and the garlic. Put that on top. There it is. All right. That chili oil really makes the dish. Like the broth has really good flavor. That bok choy has a nice textural crunch and a little bit of. But there's that lemongrass. I would not even think there's lemongrass in this. That's shocking. The clams are a little bit chewy also. So I don't know if that's just clams in general. It might be. But with that oil, that oil really makes the dish good. It's spicy, but it's not too spicy. Of the oil, you got the crunch of the bok choy. You know, it's pretty good. I don't know if it beats regular New England clam chowder, but it's still pretty good. All right, that's going to mean it's going to be the end of Caleb Eats for this week. I hope you enjoyed. I'll see you next week.